The Connection Show. Inspiring. Hope. Health. Healing. Sponsored by Brave Heart Workshops. Live with Jill Reynolds. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our page. Share it. Subscribe to it now and click the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming shows.
The Connection Show, inspiring hope, health, and healing, sponsored by Braveheart Workshops, live with Jill Reynolds. And joining me today is Shelly Bays. Welcome to the show, Shelly.
Thank you, Jill. It's wonderful to be here.
Well, I'd love the audience to know just a little bit about you, so I'm going to read some of your bio. Shelly Bays is a self-disciplined hippie chick and an entrepreneur who strives to live a life of significance. Starting her first business at 24, she's a second-generation entrepreneur, internationally certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell Team, and a certified personality and behavioral consultant. She's also certified as an elite life coach and diversity and inclusion certified trainer with Empowered Living, with a passion for empowering people. So what an amazing personality and storyline to start off with, Shelly. On the Connection Show, we love to connect the dots of people's lives with how that childhood beginning led you to who you are today. So if you can give us a snapshot, because you're going to be speaking at an event, so we don't want everyone to know your whole story, but a snapshot view of what it was like, the good, the bad, and the ugly growing up as a child, and how that led you into your entrepreneurship that you have today.
Great. I'm happy to share a little bit. My parents were self-employed from the time that I was in the second grade. So I grew up in an entrepreneurial home. I had grandparents and great-grandparents that were entrepreneurs. My grandmother on my dad's side was the only one of her family that was born in the United States. Her parents and siblings had immigrated to the United States from northern Italy. And so there's a lot of history in my family with entrepreneurship. And I grew up with two completely different sets of grandparents. I called one my farm grandparents, which was my mother's, who had horses and dogs. And so canning, I learned how to can and garden from that side of the family. And then the other side of the family, my dad's, were more the entrepreneurs, the executives, things like that. I had lots of family that really inspired me growing up that I would be better off and be able to live my dreams if I was self-employed versus working for someone else. So that was my start of my entrepreneurial journey.
So
and
you decided you didn't want to farm.
I love it, and I still garden and can, and I love to bake and cook, and so all those things are still within me. But I've always been very curious about people and personalities, and I actually attended my first personal development workshop when I was 19 years old. So that was, I'm now 58, and so I've been on this journey a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's amazing. So where did you grow up with the farm life? What area did you grow up in?
My parents are from the Hoyt, Kansas area.
Okay.
And so I grew up around Topeka, Manhattan. As an adult, lived until I moved to Indiana, which is where I'm at now. I lived in Lansing, Kansas, which is actually how I met Brenda Wood.
Okay. And then what led you then to Indiana?
My husband, my
Okay.
second husband, actually.
Okay.
We have quite the story of how we met, and very we like to say we dated in dog years. It was pretty quick in human time. So I ended up moving to Indiana with my youngest daughter, and we blended families. My husband has a son who's was born in January of '02. My daughter was born in September of '02. So we both have older children. Um, my son Sean is the same age as Brenda's kids, and so we just ended up here. My husband is longtime employee with Subaru, the great cars. I've seen a lot of them around Branson, I can tell you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Indiana is a great state, and so is Kansas. So, and they're not too far apart from each other that you can go back and forth if need be.
Right, exactly, because I have children there as well and grandchildren. And then we have some here in Indiana, we have some in Georgia. So we're like a lot of families. We have kids a lot of different places, and that's not a bad thing because then we get to travel to see them.
Yeah, and you get missed, and you get missed too.
That's true.
What is the story behind the hippie chick? I'd love to hear that little story.
Well, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I am a bit of a rebel, always have been, don't plan to change. And the hippie vibe, the hippie lifestyle, from the perspective of being very much about others, about kindness, about giving more than taking, really resonates with me. So even though I'm a challenger and I'm a rebel, I see myself quite a bit as a child of wanting to spread love and kindness and peace.
Well, I'm going to be 68 on February 12th, so I'm definitely a 67 flower child, but in 10 years differential, we were hitchhiking on the on-ramps, with signs that would say California, Phoenix, Portland, and cars would come up and say, I can take two of you. And so there'd be like 20, 30 people at an on-ramp. And so back in those days, that's how everybody got around, is hitchhiking in that hippie generation. So I call it my sex, drugs, and rock and roll days.
Yeah. And my husband and I ride motorcycles, and so we're all about that freedom and kind of the whole vibe of wind in your face. And I really do think it's the greatest therapy ever is getting in the wind. So
Oh boy, you probably got some really good stories and songs to go with that.
absolutely. We meet the coolest people when we travel on our bike. It doesn't matter where we are in the United States or Canada. We stop somewhere to get fuel or to get something to eat or just a break, and people come up and start talking to you. And if you're open to it, and I'm again, this is my hippie chick vibe. I'm just open to meeting people and curious about people and just love people. So my husband is a little bit more reserved and protective, especially in today's world. But
Well, I like that picture behind you. Is that angel wings?
yes, that's actually a gift my husband bought me for my birthday a couple years ago.
I love angel wings.
Yes, I do the wings. He does the devil horns. No.
Well, one's got to be the devil and one's got to be the godly one, the angelic one. So tell the audience a little bit about your entrepreneurship and what that looks like.
Well, actually started my first business when I was 24 years old, and I was in the travel and industry at the time. Started a travel agency. I also then a couple of years later started a travel training program where I taught people how to work in the travel industry. Then sold real estate for several years. Went to work for another friend of mine and ended up becoming vice president of sales for him. and then got into insurance. So my journey has taken me in a lot of directions, but it's also given me the ability and just really being able to meet people of so many different backgrounds. My parents, being business owners, taught us young how to connect with other people in ways that resonated with them and for them. And so that's always been a main theme of everything that I do. I believe that if you know your purpose, doesn't matter what you sell, as long as it's in alignment with who you are and what your purpose is.
Well, and if you're good at sales, you can sell ice to Eskimos.
Well, they do. I have heard that.
Yeah.
It's got to be ice I like, though, or I can't sell it.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny. Well, I love the fact that you diversified. I remember long years ago, my mom sharing, and she was in sales, and my dad, and saying, it's really imperative if you're going to be successful not to stay in a field for very long, more than 5 to 6 years. Diversify so that you make yourself more marketable. And I remember hearing that from her. And my very first position I worked at for 15 years, and then I tried to get into another line of sales. And it took me about 5 months because people kept saying, people that were in the industry I first was in, they all kept wanting to pull me back in, and I wanted to get out. And then the new industry, because my first was air freight, truck freight, shipping, and then I went into technology. And I had stayed in the first for too long. I think if I would have stayed in about 6 years, and I mean, I still was successful, and then did technology about 6 years. But 5, 6, 7 years, and then try something else, because then you become even more marketable and influential, I believe.
I don't disagree with that. I was actually in the insurance industry for 17 years before my husband is actually the one who really encouraged me to go into coaching and training, because those were the two things that I really loved at the end of my career in insurance the most. And that's just in me. I've always loved teaching people how to be successful in something. So whether it was the travel industry, the insurance industry, or now pretty much any business or life in general, that's what I do. I am that disc consultant. So I've spent a lot of years and a lot of time learning how to help people to understand other people. It makes life a lot easier when you meet someone and you can pretty quickly identify their dominant personality style, because then I can adapt myself while remaining authentic to who they are, so that I can build that rapport, trust, and connection. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the great things that I see that I do to help people overcome all kinds of challenges, not just in sales, but in life, not just in business, but in the community that they live and serve in. So that's what really gets me going.
Well, that's great. Well, I want the audience to know a little bit with your bio. So I want to show Shellys bio here that I read out loud, but so you'll know what her website is, which is shellybays.com. And then I want to point out this upcoming event. It's called Becoming the Best You Can Be, Overcoming Challenges in 2022. And it's going to be February the 11th through the 13th at the Sheraton Hotel Convention Center in Overland Park, Kansas. And to get tickets to this event, you can go to comechangeyourlife.com and register today. And right now, there's tickets still available for the live conference where you can come and meet Shelly in person and 20 plus amazing speakers and rub shoulders with them and hear what they're willing to share with you to help you become the best you can be in 2022 and overcome challenges in your life. They're also doing this event virtually. And the virtual tickets come out to about $2 and something like 50 cents per speaker a day. So it's $49 for the whole event virtually, and only $3.99 to get VIP tickets or tickets to come to the event in person, to include the conference and meals and breakouts with the speakers and just rubbing shoulders with them. And the good part is it's coming up right onto Valentine's weekend. So what a gift to love yourself and to love others by coming in, overcoming challenges. So Shelly, with that in mind, what led you to say yes to Brenda Ringwood when she invited you to be on that platform?
Well, my purpose in life, I really truly believe, is to pour value into others. And using my own personal experiences in life and in business, because I have had a wide variety of things in my background, and I've overcome the challenges that everyone else does, whether it be with my health, with my weight, failed relationships, failed marriages. I'm no different than anyone else. I'm not special. I just figured out some ways to help me to overcome my own thinking. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on Friday is, whose beliefs are you believing? What do you believe about yourself and where did it come from?
Okay.
So that's why I said yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So any other closing words for the audience about encouraging them to come to this particular event? Anything else you'd like to share?
I really believe that it takes a village for us to help ourselves and each other. And so being in the room, whether it's in person or virtually, that's why there are so many different speakers, because different speakers may be speaking on the same topic, but they're going to speak from a different point of reference. Everyone has different experiences and backgrounds. Someone is going to speak to you in a way that helps you to understand and know that you can overcome challenges in your life, that you can build the business and the life that you want, that you can achieve that level of success, whatever it looks like for you, that you want to achieve.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I too will be there, and I'll be looking so forward to meeting everyone that's listening today. And it's going to be amazing if you can come to Overland Park, Kansas in person, because we are just going to rock the convention center. We're going to be doing a black tie dance-a-thon on Saturday night with DJ Michael can't say his name, Freeland, and he is amazing, Dr. Mike. I love him, and he is an amazing DJ, speaker, and he just wrote his own book too. So we'll be dancing, we'll be eating, we'll be learning, we'll be teaching, we'll be growing, and then we're going to play on Sunday for those who want to stay over and stay with us. Sunday evening, we'll be celebrating the Super Bowl together and watching the Super Bowl as a group, if you want to stay over with us and hang out and party on. Get down, Wayne's World. So we're just going to have a great time. So we really hope you'll come with us. And Shelly, I look forward to meeting you in person and hearing your story more and learning from you a little bit more about those dominant selves and learning about how to connect more relationally with each other.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you, Jill, for having me on your show today and helping to spread the word about everything that's going on and how dynamic this event's going to be.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us on The Connection Show. Bye, Shelly.
Bye.